Virabhadrasana. So today we're going to start sitting on our knees. And then this might be a bit difficult for a lot of people. This is a pose the monks love because it extends the back of your foot, which slowly allows you to go into Padmasana. If there is pain while you sit here, for example, Gabi cannot really sit here, you can put a block in between, a book in between, a pillow, or a blanket in between your legs and you sit. We're going to start here into a little bit of a Zen meditation. So choose a point at the front of you, anything in front of you, and just focus on that object. If there is nothing in front of you that really focuses your mind, then find the point of your nose and pay all attention into the point of your nose. Start making your inhales and your exhales a little bit longer. And really focus on that single point in front of you. Keep focusing on that single point. This is a good meditation to do when you're, for example, in your laptop and you've been working for a long time during the day and you need a rest for your eyes. You can either close your eyes, you can focus on the top of your nose. Then one recommendation I heard from the monks, one of them who's basically in charge of like the email for the monastery, is that he puts a green object or he kind of sits outside and looks at the grass, because green alleviates a little bit of the pressure into the eyes and allows him to rest. Start extending your inhales and exhales, making them a little bit longer. Last 5 breaths. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Blink your eyes. Allow your hands to go on either side of your hips. On the inhale, bring both hands up. On the exhale, right hand into the left knee and twist. Try to bring the twist more from the chest than from your pelvic area. Try to keep the hips square, but really pressing down into your right hip, down into the mat, or down into, in this case, your right heel. Inhale, both hands up. Exhale, twist towards the other side. Same thing. Feel that you're twisting more from your chest than from your hips by really, really pressing down into your left hip. Moving your hip strongly down into your heel. Exhale, release, both hands up. This time we're going to twist again towards the left, but allow your right hand to stay up. Send it to the back and open into a very small heart opener. Circle your hands around, same thing. So right hand to the back, left hand up, twisting towards the other side. Once again, think about twisting from the chest, allowing both hips to really start grounded into the mat. Press strongly into your left heel. Inhale, return to center, both hands up. Bring your hands behind your neck, and then feel that there is an extension towards the back of your neck. So feel that the back of your ears are pointing up into the ceiling. And from here, we're going to twist once again towards the left side. Feel your core getting engaged here. So this twist is going to be changing a little bit. Feel that your core is coming in, and then you're twisting from your core. You're actively twisting from your obliques, your transversal abdominals. Release. Twist towards the other side with hands behind your ears. Once again, instead of lifting your eyes, think about lifting the back of the ears. And engage the core into this twist. Use your obliques. Slowly exhale and release your hands. You're going to walk your hands towards the back. And if you have something behind your hips, remove it just for a second. You're going to try to lift your knees. We're going to start opening even more into the back, into the front of the leg, sorry. If you can, send one hand to the front. If you can't, engage the core, both hands forward, really opening the back of the front of the legs, especially the front of the foot. Holding here for 3, 2, 1, really slowly. Hands down, knees down. Walk your hands forward. Hands down, find your hands and knees. Release your feet if you feel that there's a lot of tension into the front of the foot. Sometimes there will be if you're not adjusted to these poses. And we're going to start with a simple cat and cow, okay? So on the inhale, look forward, bring the belly button down into the mat. Curve your spine down. Exhale, bring everything in, chin into the chest. Belly button up towards your spine. Curve the spine up towards the ceiling. Inhale, look forward. Cow. Exhale, cat. 3 more here. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back, cat. For the last 2, we're going to integrate these with a little bit of circles around your hands. So as you move forward, start circling into your hands. Move the weight into the other hand. As you move back, you return to the first hand. Move forward and change. Really, really slowly. Mix your cat and cow with a little bit of circling into your hands, waking up your hands. Last circle. Press. Change the side of the circle. So if you are moving towards kind of the direction of the clock, move counterclockwise. Or if you were moving counterclockwise, move clockwise. As you bring the chest in, really think about pressing the mat away. As you move forward, really feel the chest pressing towards the front. Last 2. And that's. Stay into your hands and knees. You're going to extend your right leg to the back. And then think about the heel pressing against an invisible back, an invisible wall into the back. Engage the back of your muscles, your hamstrings, but also your quads. Really engage the leg by really pressing into that invisible wall, and then bring the toes in slightly. Now, your left hand is going to go forward, but instead of looking towards the front as we normally do, once again, you're going to look down and think about moving the back of the ears forward. You can create a very strong line into the back of your spine. Make your spine as long as possible. Really think about pressing into that invisible wall and think about grabbing something towards the front. Think about pulling the top of your head forward. Release down, change. So left leg goes up. Press against that invisible wall first. Really, really feel the engagement there. Get the leg to be active. Opposite hand goes forward. Your side, your drishti is going to stay down. Think about the back of your ears moving forward. The top of your head pushing towards the front. Now imagine these three directions into your body. Your back leg is pressing towards the back. Your front hand, your right hand is really pressing forward as well as your ears and your head. Then your left hand is really pressing down. And release. Once again, right leg to the back, left hand forward. Get the really strong line here. Then bring everything together, knee towards your elbow, and then extend. Knee towards the elbow, and extend. Knee towards the elbow, and extend. Two more. Knee towards the elbow, and extend. Knee towards the elbow this side. Keep the knee towards the chest. Send your left hand to the back. Really feel the core getting active. For 3, 2, 1. Release your left hand down. Then circle your hip. Circle with your knee towards the outside. Keep the circles. Keep the circles. 3 circles. 2 circles, 1, down, and then change the circles towards the front for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Release down, opposite side. Left leg extends to the back. Right hand extends to the front. Beautiful. Really feel the extension. Elbow against knee. 1. Extend. Knee, elbow. 2. Extend. Knee and elbow. 3. Extend. Knee against elbow. Extend. Last one. Knee against the elbow. Send the hand to the back. Press, press, press. Bring the knee toward the chest. Really think about using the core here for 3, 2, 1, and release your right hand down. Circle your hip towards the outside. Smile. So you're starting to notice that movements are not really active, really fast, but they're strong. Change directions. Last circle to the front. Release. Once again, right leg to the back, left hand to the front. This time, your left hand is going to move to the side, like a T. You're going to bend your knee, send it into the side. Stay with the knee bend. I'll show you how it looks. Or extend the leg. Find it. Try to bring your hand and feet as high as possible. Hold here for 3, 2, 1. Bend the knee first. Extend the arms. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, Release. Same on the opposite side. Left leg extends, right arm extends. Get really, really tall, long into your back. Your right hand is going to go to the side. Bend the knee, send it to the side. Extend the leg, hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the knee, extend the leg to the back, send the hand to the front, hold. 5, 4, 3, 1. Release down, move into child's pose. That is going to be an active child's pose. So you're going to move as we did in previous classes, both hands towards the right side, but keep your left hip pressing down into the mat. Keep moving your hands towards the right as your left hip keep pressing down against the heel. Find a nice yummy sensation into your left side body. Now move towards the opposite side. Once again, keep pressing your your right hip down as you move your chest towards the opposite side. We're going to go back into this at the end of the class. For now, look forward in between your hands. You're going to slide through, bringing your elbows down. Slide through into your belly. Inhale, small cobra smile. Exhale, back into child's pose. Stop your toes. Maybe your first downward facing dog of the day. So extend the legs, extend the arms, press the arms away. Really feel like you're sending the hips up into the sky. Feel the extension into the back of the legs. And if your heels do not reach the mat, it does not matter. It doesn't matter. There's nowhere to be. It's here. Look forward and slowly start to walk your feet towards the front in order to start our 3 sun salutations. Bring the hands against opposite elbows. Start bringing a little bit more of weight towards the ball of your feet. Feel how the back of the legs extends. Slowly bend the knees. Inhale, up, up, up. Open your arms. Look in between your hands. Bring your hands in front of your heart. Samastitihi. We're going to start with the sun salutation. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, fall forward and down. Dive down. Inhale, come into the tip of your fingers. Look forward. Press the hands down. Bring your right foot to the back. Your left foot to the back. Find your plank. Options, knees and chest down, or going to a single line all the way down. Come, bring your hands under your shoulders. Bring them into kind of the tip of your fingers. Inhale, come up and hold. Exhale, release. Hands underneath your shoulders, still pressing into the mat. Tap your toes. 2 options here. With the knees down, you can press up into a half plank, or with the knees lifted, you can press into a plank. Downward facing dog. Choices are choices. Don't kill yourself if you don't need it. Look in between your hands. Walk or jump towards the front of the room. Small jump. Exhale, release that. Bend your knees, inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands in front of your heart. Second one, inhale, hands up. Exhale, fall forward and down, dive down. Inhale, look to the front. Plant your hands, left foot to the back, right foot to the back. Find your plank. Options, straight line down or knees first. This time, bring your hands outside the mat. Again, into the tip of your fingers. Inhale, open the chest, maybe a little bit higher this time. Feel the chest moving forward. Once again, feel the back of the ears pulling up into the ceiling. Not your wristing, not your nose. Exhale, release. Hands underneath your shoulders. Options, tuck your toes, knees down or knees up. Move into plank or half plank. Downward facing dog. Look in between your hands, choice, jump or walk. Inhale, look to the front of the mat. Exhale, release down. Bend the knees, inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands in front of your heart. Last one, inhale, hands up. Exhale, fall forward and down. Inhale, look to the front. Plant your hands. Walk or jump to the back. Find your plank. Knees down or knees up. Straight line down. Untug the toes. Look forward. This time we're going to lift without using the hands. So bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Keep the elbows hugging towards each other and then towards the back. Press the top of your feet down. Inhale, lift. Chest is lifting. It is lifting from your back, from your low back. Hold. 3. Try to go a little bit higher. 2. Try to go a bit higher. And 1. Release your hands underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes with the knees or without the knees, moving into a single line to plank. Hold your plank for 3, 2, 1. Downward facing dog. In this downward facing dog, pedal your knees. Find any new space. As we are about to set into our sequence. Only once on each side. Look in between your hands. Once again, jump towards the front. Small jump. Inhale, look to the front. Exhale, release. Bend the knees. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands in front of your heart. Preparing yourself. Look down and then jump and open your feet about hip distance apart or maybe a little bit wider. I just realized I'm cutting my head. We're going to go into a squat. So choose kind of the distance in between your legs that serves you best, basically. Hands, you're going to keep them in front of your heart. You're going to start bending the knees, moving into a squat. You can go into half squat here, a little bit lower, or into your full malasana, your full squat. Then from the squat, if you're in the squat, really think about getting your spine long, moving your tailbone down. Hold here for 5, 4, smile, 3, 2, 1. Release your hands down. Your right foot is going to move back. Make a little bit of circles here, opening the side of the leg, working into your hips. We're going to bring the knee down, the back knee down. Inhale, lift into your Kapiasana. You're slightly moving forward. Bring the hands behind your head. Once again, feel about lifting the back of the head, the back of the ears, and twist towards the side. Use your core, use your chest. Smile once again. For 3, 2, 1. Release your hands. Bring your right hand to the back as much as you can. Open the chest. For 3, 2, 1. Circle your hands forward. Bring your right hand down. Lift the back leg. Twist. Easy twist. For 3, 2, 1. Open the chest before leaving the pose. Circle your left hand forward. You're going to grab your heel. You're going to grab your ankle. From there, bring the back foot fully into the mat. Then here is where you might need a block or a book. So you can try to go into the pose without the block and then see if you need one. The front knee is bent, 90-degree angle into the leg. You're grabbing your heel. Your thumb is around, grabbing kind of the outside or the opposite part of your foot. You're going to open into into your extended side angle. If you're here and all is okay, you're going to circle your hand to the back. Try to grab the outside or the inside of your left hip, or just keep the hand into your hip. Okay. If it's too much for you, you can bring the hand into a block or hand into the knee, or elbow into the knee. The one down I feel is quite accessible for everyone, but it requires a little bit of muscle memory sometimes. Stay here for 3, for 2, 1. Keep the leg as it is. Move up into warrior 2. Your front leg maybe is killing you. Smile, it helps. Move back into reverse warrior. And you're going to circle your hands around and then move towards the back into kind of a surfer's lunge or into Skandasana, bringing your buttocks down. If you're in your surfer's lunge here, it's completely okay. Stay there, stay high. The same as the squat. You can go deep into the squat or go a little bit higher. If you're in the Skandasana, just breathe for 3, 2, 1, and turn your body all the way to the back of the mat. Back, knee down. Make small circles around your hips to bring a little bit of movement into your hip area. Some juiciness there. Beautiful. Inhale, lift into this Kapiyasana. Hands behind your ears or behind your head. Feel the lift of the back of the ears and twist. Keep squeezing the legs towards each other. And as you twist, smile. Feel the tailbone pulling down and under. Holding here for 3, 2, 1. Release the hands and allow your right hand to go down towards your feet. Keep pressing forward as you open the chest for 3, 2, 1. And just allow your hands to move forward. Press your left hand down, right arm out, but you can keep the knee down or extend it for an easy twist. Once again, for 3, 2, and last one, open the chest, open the chest. Circle your right hand forward, back foot strongly presses into the mat, your foot is looking towards the side wall. You're going to grab your ankle with your hand, and press your forearm and your tricep against the knee. If you're gonna bring your block, keep it here, or you're going to bring your elbow into your knee and come into extended side angle. So keep opening, 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 hand up. Circle your hand around. Then you can bring it into the opposite hip or bring it under, in between your side body and your hips, and maybe grab the inside of your right thigh. This is almost a twist. Hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, lift into warrior 2. Your legs might be killing you a bit. Just hold it. 3, 2, 1. Reverse your warrior. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Circle your hands. Move into your surfer's lunge or down in your Skandasana. So the same that as we did at the beginning. Whole Malasana, whole squat or half squat. Hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Move towards the front of the mat. Send both of your feet all the way to the back. Plank. Options here, strong line down or halfway down. If you have your Chaturanga, move forward. Press into your upward facing dog or into your Cobra. If you are in Chaturanga, go back into Chaturanga. If you are down into the mat, return down into the mat. Press, push up, plank, downward facing dog. Beautiful, everyone. We've done the first part of the 2-part sequence. You're almost set to go. Look forward in between your hands. Jump in between. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, release. Bend the knees. Inhale, hands up. Hands in front of your heart. Samasthiti. Hands into your hips. Open your hips. Open your feet, sorry. Then make sure you have hip distance or a little bit wider than hip distance. Hands into your heart. Maybe you go a little bit deep this time. Prepare to set up into your Malasana. If you're in your Malasana before, you can try to bring your feet a little bit closer. Settle into your Malasana. Look forward. Try to move the tailbone forward, the spine up, the back of the ears up. Hold here for 3, 4, 2, 1. Hands down. You're going to move your left foot to the back. Make small circles around. Bring the back knee down. Same thing, same sequence as we did on the other side. We're just adding something. So inhale, lift into your Kapiyasana. Hands behind your head. Lift the ears. Twist. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release your hands. Left hand looks or tries to grab the back foot. Then press forward, press forward, press forward. Feel the psoas extended. Circle your left hand forward. Extend the back leg. Twist. Go a little bit deeper into the twist. Open the chest up into the ceiling. For 3, 2, 1. Circle your right hand forward, grab your chin, your ankle, knee into the elbow, or hand into a block. This time we're gonna make it a little bit different. So your hand is going to go forward in front of your eyes. Turn your hand so it's facing, the palm is facing forward. Then you're just going to keep extending the leg into full extended side angle. Look into your hand. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Circle your hand around. Stay there. 5, 4. If you have a bind, you can go for a bind. 3, 2, 1. Release. Move into warrior 2. 3, 2, 1. Reverse your warrior. Feel again, your front leg might be killing your beat, but feel the extension. Now you're gonna add movement here. You're gonna circle your hands around like a rainbow. You're going to twist into your crescent. For 3, for 2, and 1. Maybe you do the same as you were doing with the knee down. Try to grab the back foot. Maybe you do it, maybe you don't. As long as you try. 3, 2, 1. Release, move back into warrior 2 once again. Extend the legs. Move into your Skandasana or your surfer's lunge. You can still be here. If you're in your surfer's lunge, I'm going to ask you to open your hands, then find a little bit of chest opening by pressing your left hand down. If you're in your Skandasana, same thing. Open the chest for 3, for 2, for 1. Circle your hands to the back. Same thing on the other side. Knee down first. Inhale, Kapyasana. Hands behind your head and your neck. Feel the back of the ears really getting long. Toes tuck or untuck. Twist. Keep your legs really hugging towards each other. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Untug your toes. Move back, move back. Try to find your back foot, and as soon as you find it, press forward. 3, 2, 1. Circle your right hand forward. Press it into the mat. Tuck your back toes. Extend the leg. Easy twist. Open the chest. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Circle your hand, left hand forward. Grab your heel, your chin, or block, or hand into elbow into the knee. This time we change as we did on the other side. Right hand forward in front of your eyes. Your palm is facing forward, or well, to the back of the mat in this case. Circle the hand to the side, to the back, making a strong line from the foot all the way to the back of the mat. Look to the hand for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay there. Circle your hand to the back. Try to grab the inside of your left hand, of your leg tight. Or if you have a bind, find the left hand. For 3, 2, 1. Slowly move into warrior 2. Legs are possibly killing you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Move to the back. Reverse. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now circle like a rainbow. Twist into your crescent. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, bend the knee a little bit. Then try to find your back foot. Maybe you find it, maybe you don't. For 3, 2, 1. On circle, find your warrior 2 again. Deep breath, 3, 2, 1. Last pose. Surfer's lunge. Or Skandasana. In any case, open your arms. Open the chest here. For 3, for 2, and 1. Circle your hands towards the front of the mat. Bring that foot all the way to the back of the mat. Straight line all the way down or halfway through. Upward facing dog or cobra. If you're in upward facing dog, go halfway down. Press into the mat into plank. Bring the knees down. Child's pose. We're finished. We're going to once again find the stretch into your child's pose. So you're going to walk your hands, both of your hands towards the right side as your left hip strongly pushes down into the mat. Now, once you think you cannot go even kind of more towards the side, you're going to bring your left hand underneath your right armpit. You're going to try to bring your shoulder down as you twist. And keep pressing your left hip down. Slowly walk your hands towards the front. Release, forehead down. Find your breath. Walk your hands towards the left. Right hip strongly pushes down into the mat, or at least into the heel. Once you think you cannot go even more into this kind of twist or side opening, you're going to bring your right hand underneath your left armpit for even a bigger twist, and gonna try to bring, your right shoulder down into the mat. Release. Move back into child's pose. We're moving into the sitting positions first with a little bit of core, and then use fully release. So move a little bit up into hands and knees, cross your legs behind you, then move into your sitting position. Okay, so first thing we're going to do a little bit of core, and there's going to be different stages for this, and stay where you need to stay. So don't try to push it forward. If it's just killing you, go back to the previous stage, okay? So first thing we're going to do is we're going to bring our feet up slightly. And you can grab the feet. Yes, you can grab the back of the legs. And I'm going to ask you to really engage your feet by pushing your heels forward and your toes towards your face. You can stay there or release the hands. You can stay there or extend the legs. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go halfway down. Try to press the lower back down into your mat, but keep the shoulders up. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Bring the knees towards your chest. You're going to bring your right hand. I'm going to move a little bit to the side so you can see me. You're going to move your right hand into your knee, and then your left hand hugging the back of the knee. So one is pushing the knee away, one is pushing the knee towards your face, yeah? Lift the shoulders, and you're going to do that. You're going to press the right knee back, and then your left knee towards your face. But you're not going to really make any change on the left. You're going to keep pushing with your arms and the core. Keep engaging for 3, 2, 1. Rest. Opposite. Left hand is going to push the left knee. Right hand is going to try to move your knee towards your face. But the legs are not going to change. You're going to keep doing engagement, using the core to keep the engagement there, but really kind of put an opposite force into the legs. The legs don't want to be moved into the face or outward. They want to stay together. Lift the shoulders. Engage your toes. Press the knees inward and outward. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Now both hands, you're going to bring them on the outside of your knees. You're going to do an outward movement with the knees. You're going to try to open the knees. You're going to bring an inward movement with your arms, with your forearms, okay? Lift your shoulder blades. And start. Knees are pressing outward, forearms pressing in. Hold. Breathe. Keep engagement. Hold. Breathe. Hold. Breathe. Last one. Hold. Breathe. Release. Last of these exercises, you're going to bring both feet together in between your hands and opposite movement. So your hands are going to try to open your knees, and your knees are going to try to move or squeeze the hands. Yeah. Lift the shoulder blades. Start engagement. Really think about your knees really squeezing your hands. Your hands don't want to be squeezed. They're going to give the big fight. Squeeze, 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 and unsqueeze, and squeeze, and squeeze. Push and squeeze, push and squeeze for 3, for 2, for 1. If you can from here, extend the legs halfway, half boat. Hold for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Lift. Hold here for 5. Ulavasana. 4, 3. Smile. 2, and 1. Bring the feet together. No more core. You'll be glad to know that. We're going to keep with these kind of opposite movements. So you're going to bring your feet together and make a diamond shape with your legs, but not really wide. About, you put 2, 3 fists from your pelvis to your heels. Okay? And you're going to bring your forearms against the knees. And then with the knees, what you're going to try to do is you're going to try to move the legs together. And with the forearms, you're going to keep the engagement. So you're going to keep pushing the legs down, right? You're not really going to see a lot into the camera. This is a very inner movement. So start, engage the core. Really think about the core engaging here. Your knees are really pushing towards each other. The forearms are not letting them. Go back into that Zen meditation. Look at a point forward, and then focus on that point or into the tip of your nose while engagement on the legs and the arms stays. We're going to stay here for about 30 seconds. Keep the engagement, don't cheat yourself. Keep the legs hugging towards each other, the forearms away. It almost feels like you could be shaking. Or in my case, you're shaking, I'm shaking. Really engage, really engage, really engage, really engage. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Open your feet as a little bit wider than the mat if you're using the mat. If you're using the side, you're basically bringing your feet a little bit wider than the hips, or not a little bit wider, a lot more wider than the hips. And we have done this movement before, so we're going to turn towards the front of the mat. You're going to find yourself making kind of a two, trying to like find the name, like a Svastikasana. So it's basically your front leg is into a 90-degree angle, your back leg is also into a 90-degree angle. And you can see it on the camera. Really engage your foot and find that your left leg, the leg that is into the back, is making a strong line alongside the mat. Okay. Now try to push your left hip down as you move back, as you move back. You can stay here. Just opening the chest. Keep moving the hands back. Maybe you can bring your forearms down. We have lower there. Without lifting the knees. You're going to find a really nice juicy sensation into the psoas with these poses. Again, great for any person who stays a long time into a chair. Keep pushing the chest up, so it's also a heart opening, a back bend. Hold, enjoy. And slowly release. You're going to lift your back foot and move back, lift the front leg. Move forward, lift the back foot. Without using a hand, if you can, move back, lift the front leg. Move forward, lift the back foot. Move back, lift the front leg. 2 more. Forward, lift the back foot. Back, smile, lift the front leg. Last one, lift the back foot. Back, lift the front leg. Hold the front leg up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch sides, so possibly moving towards the back of the mat. Make sure your right leg is into 90-degree angle, your left leg 90-degree angle, and that your chin is parallel to the side of the mat into the case of the back leg. Same thing as we did before. Find the deep twist here first, then move your hands to the back. And you're going to find a nice sensation of opening into your back leg. In my case, the right one. Then you're going to allow maybe the elbows to go down. One side is very different from the other. Open the psoas, smile. If this side is bothering you, maybe you go up. Even if you did forearms down last time. Sides are very different. This is a really good pose when you're sitting all day. And slowly, really slowly lift. Same thing as we did before. Forward, lift the back leg. Move back, lift the front leg. Forward, lift the back foot. Forward, lift the front leg. Forward, lift the back foot. From back, Leave the back leg, oh, front leg. You can lose your balance, forward, being the back leg, back foot, back, leave the front leg. Last one, forward, leave the back leg, then back, leave the front leg, hold, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, forward. Once again, same sides. And we're going to go for pigeon pose. So look back, bring your leg straight back. Make a single line with your hip. Your front leg, your front shin could be parallel to the mat, or your chin could be a little bit closer to your thigh. Find the place where you need to be. But make sure the back leg is really straight. Untop the toes. Stay high for just a second, stay up for a second. And slowly release down. Forearms down. Maybe forehead down. I really used to hate this pose. Really hated it. So if you are where I was, I completely get you. Think about melting into the mat. The more you surrender into this pose, the easier it gets. Check your body, make sure you're not kind of coming strongly into your chest, into your chin. Release a little bit further. Slowly lift up, lift up, lift up. Tuck the back toes. Maybe see if you can leave your hands, bring them into a prayer. Hold or hands up. Hold here for 5. Otherwise, stay with hands down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Change sides, move to the back. Same thing. Your right hip is going to feel very different from your left. Same thing. Your chin might be parallel or might not be parallel, it doesn't matter. But make sure your back leg is really straight and pointing towards the back. Stay up. Find the space first. Hold. And slowly release down. Forearms down. Forehead down maybe. Once again, melt. Feel like butter. Just release. Don't fight it. If your body's fighting it, bring your heel a little bit closer to your pelvis. Scan your body to see if there is any point of tension in your body. Release your jaw, release your hands, release your forehead. You don't want to get wrinkles because you're doing yoga. Smile. The only wrinkles you want are just next to your mouth because you smile so much. Inhale, lift. Leave your hands. Maybe bring your hands into a prayer or up, and you're gonna hold here. Last engagement. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the hands, open the legs as wide as the mat. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Mini opening into the hips. Walk your hands to the front, bring your feet together. Bring the feet as wide as the mat. And slowly release down and find your Shavasana. In your Shavasana, if you want to place your hands into your hips, close your eyes. You can also place one hand into your core, one hand into your heart. Or you can just simply allow the hands to stay on either side of your body, facing up. Last deep breath. Release everything into the mat. If you have the time, stay here into your Shavasana for another minute or two. Otherwise, bring the knees into the chest. Roll your shoulders. Bring both knees towards the left side. Open into your right. Look at your right hand. And change. Move all your body into the right. And using your hands, lift yourself up. Find again a sitting position. You can go for a Sukhasana with your feet underneath your knees. You can close your eyes or keep them open and then go back into that Zen meditation. With your eyes closed, you can also find a single point of concentration in between your eyebrows. Keep that one-pointed mind around the day if you can. Whenever you feel you're losing control, go back into that one point and release the tension. Bring your hands in front of your heart. Open the chest. Feel a lot of opening into your spine, into your hips. Bring your hands in front of your third eye, in between your eyebrows. And bow, thanking your body and your mind to give yourself a little bit of time today. Bring your hands into your mouth and bow all the way down into the mat. Thank you for joining the class. Namaste, everyone.